I don't know if you ever read The Hyper-Bitcoinization by Daniel Krowitz.
I haven't. I've heard of it, of
It's a
course.
good article. So I always thought that, the governments and ETFs, all the business types, Wall Street would come. As far as the peer-to-peer cash thing, before 2017, 2016, it was really cheap to send Bitcoin, under a nickel. Even before that, it was under a penny, things like that. When it changed, that did kind of aggravate me, and I had to go through the motions and deal with it and stuff. Fees are low right now, say $1 a piece or whatever for on-chain, so it really hasn't been a big thing. And I don't think it has really been a big thing for anybody until we have a good couple weeks of mempool that's backed up and people are paying $100 fees. The discussion is going to come up.
Yeah.
At that time. So I feel like that hasn't come about yet again. There's been a few quick $100 spikes and things like that, but it's been relatively cheap. It's not as cheap as Tron or Ethereum or things like that, but it is still relatively cheap. I can still transact with you peer-to-peer as long as I have $1 worth of Bitcoin. Does that make sense to people who have less than that, like less than a couple bucks worth? It doesn't, economically make sense. Then going to a different chain might make sense. And again, I'm not a maximalist or against technology, so it doesn't bother me people jump into that to do that.
Do you have any views about like wrapped Bitcoin or these kinds of products, custodial Bitcoin?
I think it's great for the system, almost even the same way as stablecoins. It's needed. Where like stablecoins, you don't have to exit into fiat. You can hold off. I'm in dollars, right, on a cloud, but then you can go right back in, and you don't have to go through the whole taxes stuff. You don't have to go through the bank account saying, oh, where did all this money come from and all this and that. So,
right.
And I think that wrapped Bitcoins and, wrapped Ethereum, things like that are a similar aspect. And it also helps cross-chain stuff. You can use wrapped Bitcoin on this chain or whatnot. I think they're a great thing.